Laura, Gary, thank you very much for the moment. We heard on Monday, Roy, Gary talking about how he's quite convinced that youth is the way forward for Manchester United now. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. I think they've made a number of mistakes over the last few years regarding the recruitment, no doubt. And I think they had to go down that road. But it's still so early in the season. We've got to give these lads a chance to kind of mature at the club. The only concern I would have with the three players that came in, the clubs they came from, they're not used to winning week in, week out, what you'd expect from a Man United player. And you also hope the other senior players will give them a helping hand. And I've had doubts about that for a number of years. So it's, again, another intriguing game today to see how these lads cope with it. But United had to go down that road, buying a bit younger. Obviously, Maguire's not that young, but yeah, hungry players. And I think what can't be tolerated, I think, at United over the next couple of months, you're going to lose football matches. But last year there was one or two noises came out after they got beaten at Brighton. The players actually come out and said it when they got beaten at Everton, going, "We're not sure our attitudes are right," and all this kind of garbage. I think Man United fans will forgive a lot of things once players go out and give their lot. And with these new signings and the lads who maybe gone out the door, Ollie had to make these changes, but only time will tell if they're going to work. And the way they've started the season, the jury's still out.
How significant, Jose, is that point that Roy makes? It's one thing bringing young players through, but they have to be amongst the right senior players to be successful.
I agree. First of all, I think that is very important that the objectives are very clear for everybody. What are the objectives of the club?
What does it look like from the outside now?
From the outside, I think they will finish between 4th and 6th. But that's my point of view, and I don't think they are a team capable of fighting for top 2, of course. But I think would be a good achievement for them to finish top 4 and to be back to the Champions League.
Are you able, as a manager in that position, Jose, to make different decisions if the demand is not to win now?
Yeah, that's why I think is very, very important for everybody to share and agree with the objectives. So if internally, I don't know, I'm just trying to guess, but if internally the objective is to try to finish top 4 and to build from there, and not at all the team sinking this season in fighting for the title, I think is a perfect environment to try to bring some young players and to try to build something for the future. But I think it's very, very important to know.
Do you think they take 4th now, Graham?
They would snap anyone's hand off. I don't see them in the top 4.
You don't see them in the top 4?
I think that would be a fantastic result. People have to be, with that group, people have to be at the very best. Consistency is a thing that young players don't always have. I think it's a very hard sell for United to the supporters to say, well, we're now going down the road of bringing young players through and you're going to have to be patient. It's Man United, one of the biggest football clubs in the world. I think that's a very hard sell to the supporters. They're going to turn up and say, didn't the youngsters do well today, but we lost 2-1. Just a bit naive. I just don't see that. I think that the pressure's on Man United. It's a big football club, one of the biggest in the world, and maybe in some aspects the biggest. So, and with that comes enormous pressures. And I think you alluded to earlier, where you don't know how young players will react to. You have to turn up every week. Every time you go out and play, you have to win this game. It's all right if you're at a lesser club, and that the expectation level is not there. But when you're at United, when you're at Liverpool, when you're here, you're expected to win nearly every game you play in. And it's, for all aid, and any manager, time is not your friend. If he's going to be the manager that introduces half a dozen young players and hope they can replicate the class of '92, it's never happened before in the history of football. I mean, Man United had the most unbelievable stroke of luck getting all those young players through at the same time. It's never happened before, and it won't happen again, I don't think, in my lifetime. It was one enormous stroke of luck.
But even when there is young players coming through, and what you have to remind them, sometimes you talk about development, finishing top 4. You're playing for Man United to win. Don't forget about all that. People talk about development and finishing 4. God God help me if in our dressing room someone mentioned, can we finish fourth as a great achievement? He would have been lynched, absolutely. I know that the game has changed. But a couple of weeks ago I would have said United, I wasn't sure about top four, but having looked at Spurs and Arsenal over the last few weeks, I think United should be expected to finish fourth, third or fourth. I think that's there for a lot of teams. And United still with the players that they have should be capable of doing that. And that's where the pressure comes onto Ollie, because there has to be some sort of pressure on him. You can't be saying, well, we got a 2 or 3 year plan. That's nonsense as well. You got to win football matches consistently at big clubs.